Hi Flosstube, it's Pyrex Stitches. I wanted to do a tag, my first tag. I love tags, I love watching all the videos on tags, but I've never done one. And I'm going to do the tool time tag because I'm sitting here stitching away. I'm thinking, oh, I really like this and that, and I'll do the tag. I'll tell you all what I think. So, my top 5. We'll start with needle minders. I love my needle minders. I love them for holding my needle like this, obviously, but I also really love them for when you're doing the parking method. It's fantastic to hold your threads out of the way. So, I mean, I'm not parking on this project, but, you know, if you've got multiple threads up here and you can just sort of put it around there, it keeps it out of the way, or you can put it over here and over there, and that keeps that thread out of the way. And I really find them very handy for managing parked threads. And I also find them incredibly handy for holding my chart, because I haven't got it on here because I can't show you my chart, but I put my chart on here on my scroll frame, so it's right there, right near my stitching, and I can see exactly what I'm doing, and the needle minders are just fantastic for that. So number 1 is needle minders. Number 2 are my needles. This is the brand of needle I use, and I only just recently discovered them, and I just love them. They are the Bowen, made in France. You can just feel the quality in them. Like, I've only ever just used whatever came in a kit and then just used them for everything. And I did buy some new needles from my local needlework shop, and they're okay. And then I bought a pack of these when I was on 123 Stitch most recently. And as soon as you start stitching with them, you can just feel the difference in the quality of the steel, and they're fantastic. I've used gold needles before, but the gold just wears off and the finish is gone in no time. Yeah, you can get them really cheap, but I mean, these only cost a couple of dollars a pack. They are not a big investment at all. I think on 123 Stitch they're less than $3. When I buy them from my local needlework shop, they cost me $5. But I don't care, they're great. So, Bowen needles are my second favourite tool. My third favourite tool, it's my scroll frame. Let me show you. This is my little scroll frame here. Isn't she beautiful? Now, my scroll frame, I should say my lap stand. I love my scroll frames, but scroll frames are great, but they're better as long as they've got a lap stand. Now, this is the American Dream lap stand. It came with a scroll frame, which is not the one I've got currently fitted to it, but the one that came with it had the no basting system, which means that you don't stitch it on. It's kind of like a Velcro system, which is fantastic. The Velcro, it's the no basting, it's a Velcro type, and it's brilliant. Highly recommend it if you use scroll frames. I now attach this no basting system to all my frames. It's actually, I've actually attached it onto here. You can just see it there. This is a scroll frame that I just bought from an op shop for a couple of dollars, and I've actually attached the Velcro onto this frame. Brilliant. So there's that, but the main thing is the lap stand itself. Now, I ordered it from overseas. It cost me like $150 because I'm in Australia, but it was worth every cent. It makes my stitching so much faster. It means I can have my chart on my scroll frame. It means that I can stitch two-handed. It means that I can use a laying tool if I want to. It is just brilliant. The great thing about this one is that you can flip it right around, so you can get to the back of your work. Perfect. And yeah, you can attach almost any scroll frame that you have to it. It doesn't have to be an American Dream brand scroll frame to fit on it, as long as it has a hole here for this screw. And you can easily drill them, and a lot of scroll frames have those anyway. That's all you need, and bang. So I have each of my whips on their own scroll frame, and I just roll them up, and then I attach it, whichever one I'm using, I attach to my lap frame. I usually use this while I'm sitting at a sofa on the couch, but today I'm sitting at the table for the first time. It's actually the very first time I've ever used it sitting at the table, and it's fantastic. So that's my number 3, is my lap stand. I'll put a link to it down below. Then my 4th is Thread Heaven. Is that a tool? Yeah, of course it's a tool. You all should know what Thread Heaven is. It is a thread conditioner and protectant. Now, what I find it good for is cheaper floss. I'm actually finding it really handy in this dimension kit that I'm doing. I find the floss is a little fluffy, maybe because it's old. The kit is old. It's one that's actually no longer in print. It's a discontinued one. It's this one. It's Macintosh Mill. And the thread is a little fluffy, a little rough. I find the Thread Heaven is really good for that. It's fantastic with DMC satin threads, which I've done a video on. It really helps it from stop slipping. I've found it doesn't discolour the thread. I've heard it's also good for metallics. I haven't really done much with metallics, but yeah, Thread Heaven. It's, once again, it's a couple of bucks. It'll last you forever. Although I think I have bought a new one because it gets handled so much. It must get a lot of, you know, your skin oil and stuff in it. Hang on, let me just open it. So it's a blob of stuff, and you can pull it out and you can play with it, and you can, you know, it's not precious. It's it feels like, I don't know if it's silicone or what it is, but yeah, you can leave it in the box and run the thread over it, or you can take it out and sort of run your thread along it like that. I'm doing it one-handed, so that's interesting. But yeah, and I find it's a handy thing to have. If your thread is just tangling and giving you the shits, yeah, try some Thread Heaven. Very cheap and yeah, easy to use. So it's number 4. And number 5, highlighters. I think a few people have said highlighters. I don't think any of the things I've said are particularly revolutionary. I think they're pretty standard things, but they do, once you start using them, they change everything. Now, highlighters are for your chart. I'm going to give you a blink of an eye of the chart, just so you can see what I'm doing. Look very quickly. There's a chart with bits highlighted. So what you do is when you're about to stitch a colour, so I'm going to stitch this orange up here. Okay, so on the chart, I highlight all the orange in yellow, 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 yellow. That's all, oh, and one down here, yellow. Oh, and there's one there, yellow. So that's all highlighted yellow, and then I stitch. And once I've stitched, say this one down here, I'll highlight over that in pink, and then it turns orange. And then I highlight here, and then my toddler interrupts me, and I forget where I'm at. Well, it doesn't matter, I come back and go, oh, that's right, I'm doing orange. And it's up here, and it's highlighted yellow. And I can just put it over in pink when I'm done. Look, and it is great when you're parking. When you're parking, you need to do highlighters. You need to do highlighters when you're parking. It's great for confetti stitches because, you know, you can sit there and look at your chart and go, okay, now where are all those O's or triangles or whatever? You can really sit there and study your chart and go, okay, well, they're here and they're here and they're here and here, whatever. Oh, there's a red down here, red here, red here, red. You know, and when you've got black and white charts, sometimes they get lost. But if you sit there and really study it and look for those symbols and highlight them all in yellow, it really does reduce your frogging. It reduces your mistakes. So get yourself some highlighters. I recommend these 2 colours because they work really well. The yellow, you can probably colour over it with anything, but I always use yellow and pink. I don't know why. And highlighters, cheap. Again, I got a pack of 6 from my dollar shop for, well, they weren't $1, but $3 or something, and they're like double-ended ones. So they're thick on one end and thin on the other. Anyway, so that's my tool time. That's my 5 things. Needle minders, good needles, scroll frame, highlighters, and Thread Heaven. And that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.